Hi guys, welcome to another video, this time the long-awaited mock test. This is a mock test for a lady called Bhavani in Gloucester. She's not from Gloucester, she's never driven in Gloucester, so the roads are unfamiliar to her. I don't necessarily think it's a good idea to take your test somewhere unfamiliar, but I'll say more about that later on. Enjoy. Right, so we're going to go out and drive for approximately 38 to 40 minutes in a variety of different road conditions. At all times I want you to follow the road ahead, unless I say otherwise or the road signs and markings otherwise. And if I want you to turn left or right, I'll give you plenty of notice. We'll be doing approximately 20 minutes worth of independent driving, which in this instance we're going to be following road signs and directions. At any point if you're unsure, ask. The only thing is, please allow me time to answer, so don't turn up at a roundabout and say where am I going, but as you approach the roundabout, if you're unsure, just ask. That's fine.
So are we going to have the map,
the sat nav? No, we're going to do it on road signs and directions. About 4 out of 5 do sat nav, 1 out of 5 you'll be asked to follow road signs or directions. As today we're going to do road signs or directions. Anything else? We'll be doing one manoeuvre. We may do an emergency stop depending on if time allows. Anything else that you would like to know?
That's all.
Okay, we're going to drive on when you're ready. We're going to go straight ahead at the mini roundabout and then right at the end of the road. Okay? At the roundabout, turn right, taking the third exit. And the traffic light's going to go straight ahead. Try and ignore it if I'm writing anything down. It's not always mean that there's a fault. There might just be a point that I want to bring up later. Pull over on the left hand side for me just before we reach this white car. We're just get about 1 car length away. We'll get fairly close up to him.
To the car?
Just about 1 car length away. That's fine now. Absolutely fine. Okay, and then drive on when you're ready. You will find the test quite a stop-start affair. So don't worry, it's just all part of it. straight ahead.
Okay.
And at the mini roundabout, we're going to turn right. At the roundabout, turn left, taking the first exit. Find a safe place to park on the left-hand side of the road and pull over. It's perfectly okay to park in the cycle path.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. Right, so we're going to do the independent driving from here.
Okay.
So what I want you to do is to start off by following signs for Stroud and Hardwick.
Okay.
You'll see them just before we reach the next roundabout.
Okay.
So I'm going to follow signs for Stroud and Hardwick.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Find a safe place to park on the left-hand side of the road and pull over. Right, so I'm going to change what the signs are following.
Okay.
What I want you to do is follow signs for Gloucester from here.
Yeah.
About half a mile on from here, you're going to see there's a big green sign on the right-hand side.
Okay.
And a white sign on the left. Yours is the white sign.
Okay.
Ignore the green sign, that's a dual carriageway.
Okay.
So you're going to be following the signs for Gloucester and you want the white sign on the left. I'll point it out as we approach it.
Okay.
Alright?
Yeah.
Drive on when you're ready. So here we're going to come across the first serious fault. Bhavani is quite hesitant waiting to pull away, and when she does eventually pull away, she does so as a silver Fiesta is still alongside her. Fortunately, the guy was going at a reasonable pace and got past, but she should have waited until it was clear. This is where you're following the white sign on the left.
Sure. Okay.
Now we come to serious fault number 2, highway code 137. On a 2-lane dual carriageway, you should be driving in the left-hand lane unless you're overtaking or turning right. Bhavani spent quite a lot of time in the right-hand lane before moving across, with a couple of cars undertaking her as she took along at 40 miles an hour in a 60 mile an hour zone. The roundabout will go straight ahead, taking the first exit. When it's safe, I'd like you to take the right-hand lane.
Yeah.
Okay. 2 more serious faults here. Twice, Bhavani tries to change lane with a vehicle alongside her. Clearly, you need to go to a lane in front of another vehicle or behind another vehicle. She's looking, but she's not actually seeing what's there. Stay in this lane, go straight ahead at the traffic lights, and the second set of lights we're going to bear right towards Bristol Road Trading Estates. Another serious fault coming up. Approaching the second set of traffic lights, the road widens to 2 lanes. Bhavani takes the right hand lane and immediately puts herself into trouble. Had she stayed in the left hand lane, she could have stayed in that lane and just followed it around. In the right hand lane, she has to merge to the left, and when she does, nearly hits another vehicle and I have to intervene. At the traffic lights, turn right.
Okay.
Now find a safe place to park on the left hand side of the road and follow. Now this fault's a particular favourite of mine. She parks halfway on the pavement, on double yellow lines and blocking somebody's driveway. No real consideration given to parking. About 5 metres further on, the double yellow lines end, which provides a perfect place to park. Roundabout, turn right. roundabout, straight ahead, third exit. So it's straight, third exit. Right-hand side of the road, just after the island, before the junction on the right. Just on the right-hand side of the road, I think anywhere over here before the junction.
Okay. Here?
That's fine, yeah. Right, so I'd like you to reverse back approximately 2 car lengths.
Okay.
Keeping reasonably close into the curve.
Okay.
That's fine. Okay, I'm going to drive on here ready. Carriageway in the first lane, then we're going to take the first turn on the left towards Quedgeley.
So from here I have to go straight.
First turn on the left. Carriageway. Well, it's safe to take the right-hand lane.
Okay. It's the right lane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And stay in this lane up to the traffic lights. We're going to turn right to the traffic lights. turn left first exit. Take the next turn on the left. Straight ahead at the mini roundabout. And I want you to just park forward into the disabled space for me.
Like
This disabled space. Just want to park forward into here. It's not part of the test, just as long as you can put it in safely, just keep it out of the way of people who are practicing beer parking, that's all. Okay. So how do you feel?
I sort of made two mistakes which I myself knew.
Okay.
Like where you asked me to go to the right lane.
Yeah.
So that time I saw this mirror, but I failed to see this mirror.
Yeah.
So there was a car there.
Twice.
Twice.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was the mistake.
Yeah.
And also I failed to make an indicator signal when you asked me to stop and then drive.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I remember.
You've actually got 4 serious faults and 1 dangerous. The dangerous is the one that you pointed out.
Yeah.
Sorry. I should say 3 serious faults and 2 dangerous.
3 serious and 2 dangerous.
Yeah.
Okay.
The 2 dangerous, the one that you pointed out. Just a quick question. Have you had professional driving lessons or just family?
Yeah. I've been driving back in India.
Yeah.
So
No, but over here, have you had professional driving lessons or is it just family you've been doing?
Yeah, it's just family.
There's a reason I asked that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there was the merge to the right when with 2 vehicles that you went through.
Yeah.
Just after that, when we got to Bristol Road,
Yeah.
and we had to, we took the road round to the right after the traffic lights,
Yeah.
and you had to merge to the left,
Yeah.
and you were merging into a car.
Yeah. That was one. Yeah.
I don't know if you'll know the answer to this, but do you know what the highway code says about driving on a 2-lane dual carriageway?
Yeah.
About where you should drive?
Yes.
What does it say? The highway code rule 137 says on a 2-lane dual carriageway you should drive in the left-hand lane. Use the right-hand lane for overtaking and turning right.
Yeah.
After overtaking, you turn to the left-hand lane. That refers to, well, there's a few instances. When we did the big Cross Keys roundabout, which is the awkward roundabout, you did lovely.
Yeah.
You got in the correct lane, you stayed in the correct lane all the way around.
Yeah.
When you come off that roundabout, that brings you off in the middle lane of 3, and very quickly the right-hand lane closes.
Yeah.
So now 2 lanes, and you just sat in that right-hand lane at 40 miles an hour, holding up all the traffic. And what you should have done is once you come off the roundabout, when it's safe, check your mirrors, signal, go across. Which you did eventually, but it was quite a long time before you did. And that, following that rule, staying to the left, would have solved you the other problem. Because when we came up to the Bristol Road lights and we went round to the right, you chose the right-hand lane.
Yeah.
Now, well, a huge number of those instances, the lanes then merge.
Yeah.
So it's only wide so that it absorbs the weight of traffic from traffic lights.
Yeah.
You've then got to merge back in.
Yeah.
If you go into the left-hand lane, you don't have to do that.
Okay.
It's one of the, I don't know if have you had a look at my videos?
No, not much. But I'll have a look at
One of the golden rules is keep left. Highway good rules. Keep left unless you've got a good reason. Don't use the right-hand lane.
Right, yeah.
We had going right back to the very start. When the second time I pulled you over to the follow signs for Gloucester, you pulled out. There was a car right in your blind spot.
Okay.
And I don't even think you saw him.
Okay.
So you had a couple of times when you were going to pull over. Right, what you do, you're going to get this instruction: find a safe place to park on the left and pull over. Right, it does not mean park in the next 2 seconds. It means exactly what it says. Find a safe place.
Safe,
yeah. So at one point you realised you were going to park in a bus stop.
Yeah.
And then you're creeping along in the left-hand lane trying to figure out somewhere that's safe. What you do is you look ahead, you pick your spot, and then check your mirrors, signal, and move up. The same when you were pulling away, you were sat there with your indicator on, with no intention of pulling out. All you're doing, if you've got a big row of traffic, fair enough, you might want to put your indicator or hope that somebody's going to leave you a gap. When you've got cars that are a couple of 100 metres apart, if you're not going to pull out, don't put your indicator on. Because all that happens, they're expecting you to pull out, then they're wondering why you're not pulling out. And you're confusing people. So that blind spot, pulling away with the car, that was another one of the serious faults. A couple of other things, just generally. What have you got against first gear? What have you got against first gear? You pull away in first gear, the moment your car moves, you move to second. And that's why you stalled when you did. But first gear is there, it's got the power to get you pulled away. And then change to second. Because you literally, the moment the car's moving, you're walking straight to second, then second is really struggling. So don't be afraid to use first gear. You seem a little bit confused sometimes with indicators. Well, at one point when you went past the parked car and then indicated to go back in. But that's the normal position you would be driving in anyway. There's no need to indicate that. At one point you went to a mini roundabout and it indicated right and left when you were going straight ahead. There's no signal necessary on a go straight ahead on a mini roundabout. The reason I said I've been taking professional lessons is because you did something that no instructor would ever tell you to do. Near the end, when we were up in Tuffley, I said to you, find a safe place to park on the left-hand side and pull over. You pulled over. First of all, you drove onto the pavement, which you don't do. Secondly, you blocked somebody's drive, which you don't do. Thirdly, it was on double yellow lines, which you don't do. So it was about you picked about as bad a spot as you could have picked. The intention there was those double yellow lines were about to end.
I saw that.
And you should have gone past the double yellow lines and parked there.
No, I realized after passing, after parking.
Don't park on the pavement. Park on the pavement is a straight fail driving test. Highway code says, you should really read this. Highway code says that there's two reasons for parking on a pavement. One is about driving on the pavement. One is to get across the pavement into a driveway, and the other is an emergency. So unless you are on a driving test and the examiner specifically said to you, pull up on the pavement, right? Even if every other car's pulled up on the pavement, you don't do it. Apart from that, you manage an awful lot of things. You were coasting. Spend a huge amount of time with your left foot on the clutch. You come to a speed bump, you put your clutch down. You come to a roundabout, you put your clutch down. Put your clutch down when you change the gear. Or when you want to take some power out of the situation.
Just the brake
your brake and clutch are not connected.
No. For slowing down, I'll just put the brake.
and then put the clutch down. When you go to change gear. And there was the one stall. So there were two dangers which were both to do with merging. The blind spot you missed when you went to pull away. Lane changing. You've got to be so careful when you're changing lanes. You've got to look and see where your opportunity is, and then go into it. You just literally just hoping that it's going to be okay. Good luck for Friday. It is very, very difficult taking a driving test in an area you're unfamiliar with, and I mean that genuinely. Right? I have done it with people before. I've recommended that they don't do it, and they still go ahead and book it. And I've done it with people anywhere from sort of Bromsgrove to Worcester, places that I don't know, and every single time they fail. In Cheltenham, Cheltenham driving and Gloucester driving are very different. You haven't got that dual carriageway, 60 miles an hour, and what have you. I would recommend. It's probably too late in the day. Well, it is too late in the day. I would have said to you, take at least a few professional lessons before you take the test. And say it's Tuesday now, you test on Friday, you're not going to get any lessons in that time. So there is. I'll send you. I think I've got. It's right down here. I've got a series of videos on YouTube.
Yeah.
One on how to pass the test in Gloucester, one on how to pass the test in Cheltenham. Which I would recommend you have a look at.
Okay.
But mostly it wasn't the local conditions which got you, mostly it was your driving. You look like somebody who's been taught by a husband. That's nothing against the husband's driving, but you know it's the things that he's not going to pick up on.
Yeah.
But if you have a look on YouTube, just put in the stammering instructor,
Okay.
and there are some videos on there which will hopefully
Yeah.
help you along the way. The ones I would recommend you look at, obviously how to pass driving test in Gloucester,
Yeah.
but also the 8 golden rules.
Yeah.
8 golden rules for passing a driving test.
Yeah, okay.
There are things like, and this again is the kind of thing that a husband's not going to pick you up on. You know, what does number light mean? You know what number light means?
No.
It means stop, unless it would be unsafe to do so.
Yeah.
Now, your husband probably sees number light in floors and tries to get through it with all light turns red. That's what people do. But you know, there are certain things that are expected when you're on the driving test. But yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
It's a tough thing to take on.
I'll probably try to change the dates if possible.
You're probably too late now. I think it's 3 working days that you'd probably be charged for it. If you're going to be charged for it, might as well go.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, the last one I did in Cheltenham. Was a girl who's a really, really good driver and got 4 serious faults.
Oh, okay.
It's hard. Doing it outside of your local area is tough. It doesn't mean it's not doable, but it does mean that it's tough, and you've really got to look at every road sign, every road marking. You know, think about where you're positioning yourself.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. Right, I'll turn these off.